Hello everybody and welcome back to Alan Wake. So Alan is apparently out of breath. Not anymore, but small confession.
I had no real plan.
Of course you don't.
Give the kidnapper all the manuscript pages I had for Alice. If that wasn't enough, I'd hold him at gunpoint and make him talk.
But small confession, I wasn't intending to play Alan Wake today, and then I realized I didn't want to play any of the skill-based games I have on my list. So I didn't want to play any of the skill-based games I had on my list, which meant, that this was sort of the only option. Yeah, because I played the other two non-skill-based games that are currently on the list, over the past 2 days already. See, no skill involved. I don't need to bother with them in any way, shape, or form. Hey, look! I see safety over there. So, let's talk about Alan's plan and lack thereof, really. How he doesn't actually have any idea how he's going to deal with the situation. He just intends to essentially go after the kidnapper with a gun. And have him return Alice, or just give him all the manuscript pages that we found so far. It is the equivalent of saying, "Yeah, I got this. Okay, so yeah, this is better for the reason of it has more shots before I have to reload. Another tree is falling over. Another 2 trees.
The dark presence was moving ahead of me in the same direction I was going. A cold feeling settled itself in the pit of my stomach. Was it going for Alice?
Who knows? It might just... Because I'm part of me is wondering if the dark presence is slightly influenced by the way this story is written. So I do question if it's going in this direction because Alan is going in this direction. Which would result in, like, if the presence is following him, then it's gonna want to... Obviously, I'd want to try and stay ahead of Alan in this situation. Okay, that one with that enemy was just a pain in the ass. He never came and attacked, but he just kept running. So, I can't fault Alan in this situation. If he does truly believe the kidnapper has his wife, which I believe I questioned last time, whether the kidnapper actually is a kidnapper, or if they are just saying they have Alan's wife in order to get Alan to give them the manuscript, but they only know that Alan's wife is missing because of the manuscript. It is moving! I thought I was just crazy at first. I saw it move out of the corner of my eye, and I was just like, oh, that okay, must be crazy. And then, nope, it's actually rolling down the hill. Okay. Ah, yes. Stomping.
The place was dead. A ghost town. Had been for decades, maybe a century.
So, I assume this is like the old mining town. Or something like that. So, darkness, you gonna... Yep! Ow! What else you gonna throw? That was painful! I just got hit by a car. Not often you can say that something threw a car at you. Unless you're playing a Hulk game. Actually, no. Even in Hulk, like, if you're playing a Hulk game, you're usually playing as Hulk, so it's not easy to say that you got a card thrown at you.
In real life as in fiction. I had lost count of the times I had wished there'd be a clear reason for my writer's block. Something to fight. Something to lash out on. There wasn't. I was filled with doubt. I was nothing like the hero in my books. Alex Casey had gone through his life with single-minded determination, never wavering from his goal. Even now, I was angry at myself, angry at Alice, angry at Barry. I was fumbling and I had no plan.
Okay. So he's actually talking about the issues he's having, which is good. Grey Peak Gorge, originally founded in 1928, the Grey Peak Gorge mining town was one of the permanent settlements the Bright Falls Mining Company built for its workers. The nearby graveyard is a testament to the danger the miners faced on a daily basis. Most of the men who lost their lives over the years here were buried there. A grim reminder to be careful of those for those who remained. Grey Peak Gorge was abandoned almost overnight when Bright Falls Mining Company closed its doors in 1970. So I was right, this is the old mining town. So yeah, no, I wasn't just saying like, oh, it's the old mining town. Like, the entire town was a mining town. No, I was saying like this was the old, this is where the miners were. Like, this would have been, I'm a miner, like, I work at the mines. Okay, it's easier to sleep here at the lodging provided by the company than it is to go all the way down the mountain every day. Back to your actual house. And you may not have even had an actual house. Yeah, Alan actually, I guess he wrote it. But he is technically speaking about his issues that he experienced with his writer's block. Like, that there was no clear reason for it, and there isn't. But at the same time, if he just completely gives up and isn't writing things like it felt like he was doing, he was avoiding the act of writing when we first started. Where's the other one? Like, he was vehemently against actually, like, picking up a pen and writing something down, or using the typewriter. Granted, I'm pretty sure that typewriter is cursed, but... Okay, there it was. But even if it's cursed, like, he didn't know that at the time. More? Really? To the point, it felt like it, not just that he couldn't write, but he was avoiding the act of it because he didn't have anything to write about. Which, as I believe I mentioned it back then, even if you want to be a writer, even if, like, it may seem like stupid advice, but just write down things. Because that's actually what, the advice I've heard at least, if you have writer's block, artist block, whatever, just to keep doing the thing that you feel like you can't do. So even if I dodge backwards and I get the stupid thing, it's pointless. I have to actually get it to hit something other than me. But yeah, the advice I've heard for various types of creative block is to just keep writing, keep drawing, and even if it's absolute shit, like if it is the worst thing you've ever done, because you kept doing it, one, you're not letting your skills get rusty, and two, it's not like you're safe haven.
I needed a key for the door.
I don't believe you, asshole. But it's not, instead of it being like you're avoiding it to those around you, it's more like they can actually see from the work that you are putting out that you don't have any sort of inspiration. Which, especially in Alan's case, is a very important thing, because Alan is a professional writer. So being able to actually show evidence that his writing is shitty at the moment is much better than just saying that he can't write anything. Hell, even in a situation, he could write a biography. Oh, hello, TV.
Outside of writing is a struggle. I feel ill. I managed to make my way downstairs. There's a shoebox filled with books and papers by Thomas Zane. It's very hard to focus, but I managed to read some of it. He's a poet, and a good one. He writes of muses and creators summoning fabulous things from a magic lake, using his powers to shape the world of a realm of gods and dreams and demons, dark things that wait for a chance to slip through, wearing the flesh of men as disguise. Zane writes about himself, his girlfriend being taken over by a dark presence, about growing scared of the lake. Zane believes it's a mirror to the gaping void of darkness above, where some Lovecraftian presence lurks. I crawled back upstairs. I'll borrow these things for my story. They ring true. They fit.
Okay, so he hasn't actually solved his issue either. Another tree! Okay, I keep making that joke. It's pretty terrible, but you have to think about it. Every time it's asked us to focus in the past 2 episodes, it's been like a tree falling over. But in Alan's case, write a biography. Like, it's not something you need to embellish. It's not something you need to make interesting. It's just write the true story of your life.
The kidnapper had sent me a text. The message was full of spelling errors and insults. It was telling me to hurry up.
Of course he is. If that does make any sense, like, yes, I know it is difficult. I've experienced times where I didn't want to record a video because I wasn't able to put up any front of entertainment in any way. Of course, it's breaking down. But in a lot of those situations, you may... Oh, shit, I just killed myself. I wasn't watching where I went. A lot of the time when I've had those situations, I don't just give up on trying to record. I do try and... I do attempt, at least, to see, like, if I can still record something and get something out for you guys. Especially now where I'm, instead of just giving up, when I don't feel like recording, I have the backlog of footage so that you all don't go without a video. And by what I mean by Alan hasn't solved his writer's block, even with the assistance of the Dark Force, is he's borrowing other people's creations. He's using other people's work in his, instead of actually making his entirely new things. And it's one thing to draw inspiration from them, but it's another thing to actually use them as they are. Like, if I covered the exact same topics that other people do, in the same ways that other people do, like if I spoke about this game the same way, if the bizarre topics I cover in my other videos, if I did them in the same way, it would get boring, and I would never gain any more subscribers. Which, huzzah, I've been gaining several this past week. Thank you to the new people subscribing. Hello, voice! It's nice to hear you. I don't know who the fuck you are. Tunnels go to Cauldron Lake. Okay, this is the accepted path.
Without warning, the headache stabbed at my brain.
Oh? So is this what I get for going against what the, Or am I going against it? Let me see. Was there actually another path up here that I avoided? Yeah, I could just go directly that way, but no, I want to take the one that says Ghost of Cauldron Lake. If the lake, even according to the writer from before, the poet, is the source of these issues, like whether it's something beneath the lake, something reflected in the lake, so on, if the lake... If the lake...
Alice?
Alice? If the lake is the issue... Okay, so...
I'm losing it. I gotta get out of here.
No, I came here for a reason. I came here for the story!
The hunters were big, thick-set men, confident and at home in the woods. They were feeling good, running on beer, ghost stories, and camaraderie late into the night. It did them no good, as they were taken by the dark presence, sucked deep into a darkness far worse than any ghost story they ever told or heard.
Okay, this is a bad plan.
I'm losing it. I gotta get out of here.
I had to do it. Really, I had to do it. You all knew that there would, like, that was what I had to do. I had to just jump into the lake, see what happens. Okay, so Alice, is screaming for help from Alan, yet everything that I'm seeing suggests that she has fallen into the lake, which, again, supports my idea that the kidnapper doesn't have her. Which does intrigue me, like that he, yeah, there are plenty of people who, in the real world, who would take an opportunity like this, to try and get set, like, even if they don't believe what's happening in these manuscripts, there are plenty of people who would take the opportunity to try and get, the next issue of Alan's book before it's released.
Even behind the closed doors and curtains of his grimy room at the Majestic, the local motel, Nightingale could feel the locals' eyes on him, the unrelenting pressure of their judgment. He forced it out of his mind. For all he knew, they could all be under Wake's spell already. You do what you have to do to get the job done. He took comfort from the bottle in his hand. Please, he thought, just let me get through this.
So what that's telling me is that, to some extent, Nightingale believes that Alan... yeah. Lovely. I knew something was going to happen over there, but I didn't expect it to be,
All accidents could be prevented.
I don't feel like dealing with this. Yeah, that's what happened. I got turned around by that. Okay. So, I'm actually, I'm almost positive now that the kidnapper doesn't have Alice. He is, for some reason, trying to trick Alan into thinking he has Alice. Whether that is so that he can get the new manuscript, or because Alan having the manuscript is against the Darkness's plan, or whatever. There's all kinds of reasons I can come up with, but I don't know the real one.
I'd have to make my way up this mine shaft in order to go on. Maybe the machinery could help me with that.
Is this a puzzle? It's not a puzzle, it's just a pain in the ass, that's what this is. This is just, waste my time, situation. You know, you could have climbed those boards and yanked on that before, right? You didn't... These boards have enough of a gap for you to climb them. And if you're standing on them, they have enough strength for you to trust your weight to them. So, next time, guys, we will finally leave the mineshaft. So, let me know, what do you all think is going on? Does the darkness have Alice? Does the kidnapper have Alice? That's one thing. That's your first one. There's your choice. Kidnapper has Alice, darkness has Alice. Or, third choice, no one has Alice. Alice is just missing. Second question. Do you Nightingale appears, according to that manuscript, to believe that everything that's happening is actually Wake's doing, instead of some bizarre entity. And if he believes that the townspeople are in some way under the control of Wake, that would, partially at least, explain why he was willing to shoot at Alan during the hostage scenario back at the radio tower. Because if he believes that Alan has some control over the hostage, of course the hostage is going to say not to shoot, right? And my other, my final one, what do you think is actually going to happen when we reach the kidnapper? Whether he has the Alice or not, do you think we will end up just handing over the manuscript as Alan plans to, or are we going to end up having to shoot him? Are we going to have a gun? Or is it going to be like the other time, where we don't have a gun, we just have the flashlight? Let me know. I do hope y'all enjoyed. If you did, make sure to subscribe down below. I have been seeing several new subscriptions recently, and I love it. I love all of you new subscribers. Just stick around. I know, I can be boring at times. And if you have already done that, and you just want to show your support for this particular video, make sure to hit the like button. It looks something like this. Hope y'all enjoyed. Remember, smile. Because we're finding out some new information in the game. Even if it's not connecting any dots just yet. Hope y'all enjoyed, and I'll see y'all next time. Goodbye, guys.